Uranium spot prices are up 10% in a matter of days following large spot price buy orders above market involving Kazatomprom being the world's largest uranium producer. This has pushed up ASX Uranium Miners to see 40% gains this month following their 200% gains for the year. For a detailed report on the ASX's top uranium miners, their performance this month as well as the year, click on the link in the description to grab that report. For those into short-term trading, they will note that the last few days have seen these leaders break out of one of the most reliable and explosive technical patterns, being the high and tight flag pattern. Check the description for a link on how to trade that pattern. This rally in the uranium price is after the US government through Joe Biden announced the strategic energy reserves and Bill Gates earlier this year promoting the energy source as being a critical part of meeting green energy climate change targets around the globe. This is Finer Market Points, where we connect the market's strongest themes and top companies for better trading. Like the video to support the channel and subscribe for updates. To understand the recent spike in spot prices for uranium, it comes after a large bet on uranium prices came from London investment company Yellowcake plc. They actioned their right to buy $100 million worth of uranium. This order was with Kazatomprom, the world's largest uranium producer, whose chief commercial officer Askar Baratev said, "We will evaluate our inventories and it's possible we will buy material from market to cover part of our deal obligations." We saw Yellowcake said it plans to make additional purchases after this $100 million if it sees value opportunities, although the miner Kazatomprom said they didn't expect excess sales of uranium this year after the deal with Yellowcake. The financing of this $100 million purchase of uranium came from $140 million raised quickly by Yellowcake to purchase this £3.5 million. This one transaction depleted Kazatomprom's reserves, and they announced through a conference call that they had to buy on the spot market to replenish their own reserves. Yellowcake followed up and has reportedly bought another 440,000 pounds of spot uranium, and they still have $28 million in cash left to buy more. For consideration of this $12 million, it said it was taking delivery of this 440,000 pounds of spot uranium later in the month. Other reports are circulating that Denison Miners, the Canadian uranium miner, raised $75 million through equity, or new shares, at $1.10 per share. This was to finance the uranium concentrates for long-term investment, which has pushed up spot price of $2 a pound just on this news. The purchase is to help finance the advancement and construction of their 90% owned Wheeler River Uranium Project in Saskatchewan, Canada, in attempts to strengthen their balance sheet and support their long-term purchase arrangements with future customers. Investors now expect to see the share price of Denison Miners to be more closely linked as a proxy of both the spot price and the future prices. Next up on the purchasing was Uranium Energy Corp. They announced that they too would establish a physical uranium inventory to take advantage of spot prices below most industry production costs. They've said holding an inventory will also provide greater marketing flexibility while freeing up production from the company's domestic mines production for the US Uranium Reserve and other US origin-specific opportunities, they said. UEC's CEO and President Amir Adani said the Texas-based company is investing to build the next generation of low-cost and environmentally friendly uranium projects. He continued, "Despite our focus in low-cost in situ recovery mining with its low capital requirements, we see a unique opportunity to purchase drummed uranium at prevailing spot prices, which are below most global industry mining costs. Hence, we are establishing a physical uranium inventory initiative and have entered into initial agreements totaling US $10.9 million to purchase 440,000 pounds of US warehoused uranium at our account with the Covered-In facility in Metropolis, Illinois. Extending this out, they say, we believe this is a clear shift in sentiment around the outlook for uranium." Yellowcake CEO Andre Ladenburg said, "Significant investor demand enabled us to considerably increase the size of the share placing. We now see real opportunity for shareholders to benefit from the pending rebalancing of the uranium market." The larger placing also provides strategic benefits to Yellowcake. With that global backdrop, we do see that the prices of uranium listed companies have been increasing significantly. This is the third update we've had this year in 2021 because the prices keep advancing, and we do see that continued demand of both short-term and long-term traders picking up the uranium market that has been in the doldrums. We do see that the spot market has increased after being on a downward trajectory, but if we do look back over the last 25 years, we can see that that spike was some years ago. It's over a decade since the peak prices of uranium have been seen, and it has been on a downward slope, especially with the Fukushima nuclear disaster on the 11th of March 2011 that saw many lose their lives, destroyed villages, towns, and also the uranium market at the same time. We use this backdrop, changing momentum, changing sentiment, and changing the ability to raise capital quickly to have a look at the ASX miners that have been moving the most over the last month. Number 6, we see Boss Energy up just under 17% over the month. Bannerman Resources comes in at number 5, 26.5% for the month. ERA Energy Resources just under 30% for the month. Number 3, we've got Vimy Resources, VMY is that ticker, 35% over the month. Alligator Energy, AGE is the ticker, just under 38% over the following month. And then Toro Energy is number 1, TOE, 46%. Casting the net back for these 6 companies over the last 12 months, number 6 is Boss Energy at just under 60%, 59%. Energy Resources, ERA, 152% over the 12 months. Toro Energy, 168%. Alligator Energy, 186% over the 12 months. Number 2, Bannerman Resources, BMN is that ticker, 201%. And first place over the last 12 months for these top 6 companies this month is Vimy Resources, VMY is that ticker, 225%.